I am here with Chase Booth, product manager for the Momentum line. And this model has been out for what, at least a year, right?
This is the second one we've built.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So this is a brand new floor plan, the 396 DB,
Yeah.
right? DB stands for dual bath, which we'll get to. Before we run up front and do the nose to tail, let's talk about the specs.
Sure. GVWR is going to be 23,500 pounds.
23.5.
Uh-huh.
And what's the UVW?
So the unloaded vehicle weight is just at 19,000 pounds on this guy.
All right, so that's 3,500 pounds?
4,500.
4,500
Yeah.
pounds. Math is hard. And what do we got for tanks and stuff?
So you're going to run with 140 gallons of fresh water.
Nice.
104 gallons of gray and 52 gallons of black.
Now with only 52 of black, are we considering the rear bath half?
Yeah, so it's really sharing, right?
Yeah.
That rear 52-gallon tank is shared for that bathroom.
Yeah. Well, let's do the usual. We'll go up in the bedroom. We'll go nose to tail and check this thing out.
Yeah. This is our normal king bed slide model up here. So you can see nice clean windows up above, letting that natural light in, and certainly able to give you some cross ventilation. You got your headboard that flips up and does double duty as more of a nightstand, right? You can set your phone up there. You've got USB and USB-C chargers. And if that's not enough room, you can see, it's easier to show you right here. We've got our little flip out tables. We call them CPAP trays. Certainly a CPAP can sit on the edge there. You've got outlets on both sides for that, but if you need to put a drink, a water bottle. And then up in the front, of course, plenty of drawer storage. Like, you've got big drawers, and of
nice
course,
and deep.
your wardrobe up top, so tons of hanging storage.
These are all soft close.
Absolutely.
Nice. Yeah, so this is basically just like our RV in the front here. You've got this section here is storage or washer and dryer, stacked washer and dryer there. Plus you've got all this over here.
Yeah, so similar as the 395 MT as well as our 399 in the bedroom. We've got our fireplace built into the dresser. So we put the fireplace down low, certainly puts off a lot of nice heat. You've got some shoe storage down here below in the toe kick as well, which is nice. But since we have the frame rail right behind it, we decided to put the fireplace low so that we could go with extra deep drawers here instead of having the shallow ones. So you can see they're all hardwood with the dado cut, so you don't have any of that rough edge up there as well.
We got a TV backer here and cable outlets and your plugs and all that stuff up there. 13.5 or 15?
15.
15K all the way around now.
Yep, Power Saver 15s.
And heat pumps only available in the middle one.
It is available in the middle one, correct.
Okay, cool.
And with the fireplace up here.
Yeah, you don't really need it up here.
One of the biggest benefits of RV travel is you get to sleep in your own bed at night.
And you know what will ruin that sleep? The stock mattress that came with your RV, because it's probably garbage. And that's why we upgraded to an RV mattress by Brookly Bedding, and we love it. They offer multiple heights, firmness levels, and obviously different sizes, because RV sizes are different than anything else. So you can find the perfect size to match your RV space.
And if you are in the US, shipping is free and comes straight from their factory in Arizona.
They're so confident in their mattresses and that you're going to love them. They give you a 120-night sleep trial and a lifetime limited warranty, so you get plenty of time to try it out.
We only needed one night to know that we made the right choice.
For sure. We went with the signature hybrid with the standard pillow top and RV king size, and it's been awesome.
It fits our RV perfectly and was easy to set up right out of the box.
Compared to the stock mattress, there just really is no comparison at all.
We are both sleeping great, and even Daisy approves.
The standard pillow top that we got adds an extra layer of plush comfort, but if you're a hot sleeper, they also offer a cooling pillow top option that you can get.
We love our RV mattress by Brookly Bedding, and we think you will too.
Yeah, and right now they're giving you guys a special discount of 30%. You can use the QR code on the screen or the link down below to get your 30% off.
Thank you to RV Mattress for supporting our channel and being a sponsor of today's video.
Let's check out the bath, because this is a new design. Not new for this model, but new for the 399 and the 395. So again, we always talk about it, our one-piece fiberglass showers, but they're sunken down into the floor. So my joke is always, I don't really need all the ceiling height. Somebody like yourself might, but the nice thing is being sunken down like this, you get 6'5" to here, and then you pick up some additional inches with the skylight as well.
So you could be 7 foot tall.
Yeah. So you've got your shower towers, you know, certainly some storage, but still a really good sized shower, but we made room for this really nice storage.
Yeah, that is, you know, that we saw that in the 395 MT, and that's just superb. That's just,
Yeah.
you guys, we learned a lot when we built the 410 and had the cabinet from hell.
Yeah, and when he says we, he means we.
Yeah.
Certainly better. But you also get this nice
Yeah, that's nice.
pull-out hamper as well. So this is a really good use of space on this side. And I think a lot of improvement over here as well. Like typically we don't have you know, a ton of real estate, I should say, in a toy hall or bath. So this is quite a bit of counter space here.
Yeah.
But, you know, nice storage down here. You've got a shelf, so you have room, I mean, to stack things. We still do our hair accessory door, so you've got your cups here. You can put a straightener in or something like that and still shut it out of there. There is an outlet inside, so your cables and wires and things like that can be kept. And then you've got your nice light that actually dims.
That's nice. I like how that's now sunken into the wall.
Yeah.
And it's nice and flush. And over here we've got the, so this, is this a Fugatti?
This one right here is the Fugatti.
Looks like we've got your Lippert 1 control here, just like in ours, kind of controls everything in the RV.
So the kitchen in this unit, again, exactly the same as the 395 and the 399. We love this kitchen. It is we get a lot of great feedback. You know, you counter space on both sides of the cooktop. You've got tons of drawer space as well as your power charge drawer, right? So we've got a couple 110 outlets, USB and USB-C. But you know, just to get some of that clutter off of the counter. And then just tons of space up here as well. You can see my coffee and sunglasses. And another thing to show off up here, getting out of the way, is your Gen 3 Starlink bracket, as well as your direct data cable down to the wet bay. For the folks that don't use a Starlink or haven't, you know, it's nice to be on the roof in some scenarios, but there are often some scenarios where you don't want it on the roof, right? Because you may not have access to the sky. So we wanted to run that more universal down to the wet bay, so you could run that plug all the way up. Set it wherever you need to out there. But if you do want it on the roof, you can certainly tap into that wire channel and bring it all the way down. Moving over to this side of the kitchen, we've got our smart sink that has, you know, built-in strainer, cutting board, your drain, the cup rinse, which is also always a popular feature. But still having counter space over here. If you remember the 395 MS, the MS had the peninsula that came in here, and it really limited our drawer space on the side. But also it had some counter space here, so we didn't want to get rid of the counter space. If you need it to set some things on, doing dishes or things like that, or use it as a little cutting, you can. But by putting the the countertop into the slide here, we were able to get these huge drawers. Right, they're just really big, deep drawers.
There's so much storage in here.
To me, a really nice use of space. And then also, you know, we still have, this is storage that was in the 395 MS as well. So opened up some floor space, added some drawer space, still have counter space. To me, it's feedback has been really great on it.
And I love this, 20 cubic foot, right?
Yeah, 20 cubic foot.
That is ginormous.
Yeah, when this slide comes in, it does come up over, so you can open these doors and transport, which is nice.
Oh yeah, right along the edge there.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing too is when the slide comes in, it actually raises up a little bit.
Yeah.
So
you guys got that right on the nose there.
And then built-in ice maker as well in the pull-out.
That's nice on a DC fridge.
Yeah.
If you're not familiar, you know, back in the day, there used to just be absorption fridges in the DC realm. Now they've got these really nice compressor fridges, so it's a real fridge. You got real controls for top and for the freezer in the fridge. You can control the temperature. It's not like the old days. Do they even put those in RVs anymore? Those absorption fridge?
Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, why would you?
I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, though, how fast these things cool and how cold they actually get.
Yeah, that's nice. I really like that.
They're very
it's
efficient.
Huge. And we got a 4-burner stove here.
Yeah, 24-inch oven, freestanding, right, with a nice 4-burner. So, Look at, yeah,
Oh, that's giant.
put a
You
bird
can
in
get-
there.
You can get a turkey in there.
For sure. Couple new tweaks over here, moving on from the kitchen, is our swivel desk dinette table. So the cool thing is use it as a desk, enjoy your campsite.
Yeah, it's
but
kind
if
of
you-
nice. It
yeah.
looks right out on the campsite there.
Creates a bunch of room as well. It's nice and spacious over here. But when you want to use it for a 4-person table, you pull this little lever right here, lift up, slides out, still slide through. A little snug, but you legitimately have room for 4 seats over here as well. So you
Yeah.
can slide it all the way over to the side, no problem. Bring it on over to this side and use it more as an L shape. But this is, outside of that, this is a very similar slide from the old 395 MS, right? You have space to eat or do work or anything like that. When you come in here, it's like you go from your kitchen right into your living room. So you have this nice U-shaped seating here. You've got your theater on this side, and then your L shape.
Let me flip it around here because I really want to capture how big this area is up here.
Yeah, you could put 5 to 6 people over here, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a huge amount of living space.
But you also have windows on both sides, right? I mean, nice cross ventilation, still plenty of storage up here, recliners in all these. You know,
This is what I really like about the layout. You guys are doing a lot of commonality among the units now. It probably helps you guys a lot with manufacturing and using the same parts across the board.
Yeah, and this type of seating arrangement's also very popular, so it definitely helps out. The other cool thing is
what is that? Was that?
oh yeah,
like
you've got
little
some
outlets in there.
Yeah, 110, USB, USB-C.
Nice.
Where you can see we're transitioning from all USB to into USB-C, and I
Yep.
would imagine that someday we'll
it's
be
probably
all the way there.
And as soon as we get switched to just USB-C, that's when USB-D will come out.
Yeah, we need to get in on that investment. Cables are the business.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
all these recline, right?
so these
three?
two recline. This reclines. Of course, these two can't be out at the same time, but the outsides can. And then these two as
These
well.
recline. That is cool. Mm-hmm. And then you got this giant accent wall here.
Yeah, it's actually like it has some sound deadening properties back here as well, but it's just a slat wall that helps with the acoustics in here. But to me, it just gives it a really great look. But you know, we didn't want to get rid of the storage, right? So.
Yeah, I called it an access wall, an accident, but it really is kind of an access. You access this.
Yeah, so we've got a place to put a vacuum cleaner. You've got an outlet in there to charge it as well. So there's an outlet up on the top side there. If you set your Dyson in there properly, it'll kind of contort a little bit. You've got that strap to hold it so it doesn't fall out. We have some.
Yeah, we could really use that. We've got our Dyson in the garage, and it just kind of sits in the corner.
We've got a friend that has this model, and they've put a lot of booze in this thing too. So there's
you could really stack it up and maybe even add some shelves.
Yeah. But yeah, the nice mantle if you want to throw a sound bar or something on there, 50-inch TV on the wall. This is where we'll see some difference here. So we've got our lift suite set up a couple different ways. You've got our 70-inch bench here, which also makes into this function. It can both be a bench, it can be a bar top with an outlet. You've got 2 outlets on that side. It can completely fold away if you want it to give you space for loading. But as you can see, it's nice and bright back here. We're also showing you the L track without the cover on it, but you know, it can show you how versatile it is in terms of adjusting and giving you different spaces to tie down your motorcycle.
Yeah, because you got infinite sort of adjustability there. And like I said, you've got your inserts here.
Yeah. And that's actually attached into a piece of steel that comes across the frame here straight up and down. And you can see all the attachment points. It's very substantial.
Oh, okay. So all of these, every one of these here is an attachment point.
Yeah, into steel.
Into steel.
Yeah, that is below the 1-inch or 7/8 baseboard.
Right.
Below that, so.
Right. So it's you're tying down right to the frame.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And this, of course, is what you guys have been running for about a year now, the lift suite?
Yeah, we've got integrated lights. As you can see, bed comes down separately, so it
it's nice and
moves
fast.
down, you know, definitely stable. So big windows. I mean, you can also see what's the same as we have in the 395 MT as well as the 399. You've got your huge beaver tail storage box. I It's amazing how many people come up to me and say they saw me on Chad's video. And so I always like to, thank Chad and Tara for that. And on our Gen 3 seasons doors as well. So these are great because,
Yeah, it's a nice like residential style door instead of a sliding door. That's a lot nicer. And here's the reason this thing is called the DB.
Yeah. So
you got a full bath back here. I don't think I've seen one of these in a Mo since the 397.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, which you had, right?
We had. That was our first RV. That's one thing we've always said about toy haulers is the garage could be used for anything. A sewing, knitting room. It could be a craft room. It could be an office like we use it for. It could be a second bedroom, and that's where this, I think, really makes that flexibility.
Yeah.
So if you've got kids or whatever that are going to live back here or stay back here when you're traveling, that dual bath, having a full bath back here is awesome.
Yeah, so, we show it here. Forward of the garage, this is the 395 MT. Exactly. The outside dimensions, pretty close on weight. Most everything about it is a 395 MT, but we have utilized a few feet of the 14-foot garage space. So this garage now is 10 feet, 10 inches. So you can see we brought the loft out just a touch for the bathroom because we wanted to make sure that we had the right size shower. So that is legitimately a twin mattress up there.
Oh, okay.
And then we also added a window. So I
see the light coming out there. There's a window up in there.
There is. So that loft space we know is 10% of people are actually sleeping up there.
If that, yeah.
But because we have the space, we wanted to put a more substantial mattress up there. The window adds some natural light, which is great. Makes it feel like less of a cubby, or less of a storage area, more of a cubby place to sleep. So it's great. But we also walled it off right there, so you can see that in this one-piece shower, again, not for me, but for most people. I mean, you've got all this height. So, we've got our fantastic fan to let out any of the moisture that needs to be here. And you also have a high window up here as well to let some of that moisture out of here. But really a nice place to shower.
That's a lot bigger shower than we had in the 397. It's much wider this way. And the whole bathroom looks a little bit bigger. It's laid out differently, obviously.
Yeah, so again, we're utilizing some space down here for plumbing. But we made sure that, you've got good size medicine cabinet up here. We didn't want to waste the space over here, so folding up towels, things like that, as well as some more space down here, and really a decent amount of space for the toilet as well.
Yeah, that's actually that was one of the issues in the 397 was it was a lot tighter than that. EV up there on an angle, that is nice. Is this also 15 or is this 13.5?
This is also a 15. Every one of them are 15s
all the way through.
Yeah, all power saver.
That is cool. And the patio, anything different on the patio here?
There is not anything different from the fact that this is a hidden hinge 0G Moride door. Patio kit folds right in nicely. It's super easy to put that door up. Yeah.
This patio rails look a little different. Are these Moride?
These are the Moride. Yep.
Very cool. Well, let's go take a look at the outside now.
Sure.
So we're outside here, as you can tell by this extremely bright and low early morning sunlight. But we're welcoming in. I'm hoping it soaks into my jacket and gives me some heat.
Yeah, no doubt.
So let's take a look at the storage here. Here's our extra chairs. We've got nice pass-through storage here. You can see it goes all the way out. What kind of an inverter does this have in here?
So this is the 2,000 watt Magnum inverter.
And this is that standard or is that an option?
So it is an option, part of our Solar Plus package.
Yeah.
So with that, you get the additional 330 watt panel.
For a total of 660.
Yeah, 660, 2,000 watt inverter, 50 amp charge controller.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that I'm assuming 2,000 watt. That probably just powers some outlets and stuff for coffee.
Yeah, it powers essentially every outlet in the coach aside from any like heavy load units, right? So not the microwave, not the air conditioners,
right?
Any of the heating sources.
For that you'd want the ELP, the extreme lithium package.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
Yeah, so big storage. You got your nice steel saddles in here as well. So just very sturdy, clean look, but a lot of space up here that's accessible all the way around.
And you've got it. We didn't show it inside, but you do have a central vacuum system.
Yeah.
And of course, there's propane here.
6,000 watt MPS generator. It has the inverter technology, so it delivers a nice clean, power into the unit itself.
Yeah, we've noticed the inverter generators are so much more fuel efficient because they can vary the rate of the engine.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's much better.
You've got your space for the battery as well down here.
And I see we have the Hydrostar brake controller. So because this is a big mow,
Yeah.
we've got the Moride independent
Yeah,
suspension.
standard.
Yeah, standard, which is awesome.
It has been really great. I know you guys have a relationship with them, but it is truly incredible to see how much, just how much better these things tow.
Yeah.
You know, how much less bounce and shock they take. Moride pin box is
Moride rubber
standard.
pin box.
So as you can see, you've got the wet bay back here. Really, all the different types of camping that you would need to do, very easy. You've got diagrams to lead you in the right direction. So ice maker shutoff valve down here, which is really nice as well. We have changed some venting recently for the way that our tanks connect that really allow you to fill them up a lot quicker and get maximum capacity out of them as well, which is great. But you can also see you've got your filter here. You've got your brass fittings. You know, we didn't go brass across the board 100%, right? I mean, we've certainly got some spots where you have
plastic,
for sure. You can also see your Starlink connection.
This is the other side of that thing that we showed in the kitchen. So that passes right through there, and then you can run your cable down and just put your antenna out wherever you need it.
Yeah.
Got the Lippert auto level for the hydraulic jack systems. Furnace, obviously.
Yep. 35,000 BTU furnace.
That's one thing that has stayed steady and hasn't really changed, I don't think, since 2017. It was the Suburban 60 kBTU, no, 35 kBTU.
35K BTU.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be a lot. 60 would be crazy.
Yeah. And actually, so Furion, not Fagati, but we've bounced back and forth a little bit as of
got
late.
the Furion. Got your business side connection down here. And over here, this one's got two tanks, 230s, right?
This 230s on Big Mo.
Got one that's connected right to the generator, and one's connected to the pump.
That's right.
You know, so if you're like us, you just basically use the one to fill the other, so you have 60 gallons for a generator.
Some folks want to put that, you know, rec fuel or high octane stuff, and you know, and have it separately.
The no corn.
Yeah, yeah. So
very cool. This is awesome. Thank you so much for the
problem.
tour.
Thank you.
We'll see you on the next one.
Awesome.